Okay, and we're here with Christophe.
Hello, yes, I'm Christophe Duquesne, so from Voix Du Luthier, but also Eagan Audio. So we are still in the Eagan Audio booth together with Ed. And so I will talk. What I'm going to show you is somewhere in the middle between Voix Du Luthier and Eagan Audio. Just as a reminder, so all the sound in this room are coming from this resonator. So this is la Voile. Here you have la Pyramide. And the other one on back is the Onde here. So we use them as speakers, but there is no soundboard, no speaker inside, only soundboard. So we have transducer vibrating the wood, and that is giving you the sound you're hearing. Basically, the main point is that it's really spreading the sound in all directions. Unlike a speaker on the side or behind you, you don't have any more sound. Here, it's really spreading the sound as any acoustic instrument, and it gives you the color of the wood. So that's really string instrument maker done with a guy who is usually building guitars, and that's how we are doing the sound here. So the output of the continuums are going there. What I wanted to show you is first something. So that's more a Eagan Audio tool, something I developed, which is named Loris. So it's a software. It's doing analysis and resynthesis. So basically, what is done here is we take a sample and we analyze the sample, and the analysis is going to extract the parameters, the synthesis parameters, to drive 64 oscillator. So we take the sample, we cut the sample in 512 slices, and for each slice we have the parameters for the synthesizer. We send them to the continuum, and we can slowly morph from one slice to any other. So you're going to kind of imitate or replicate the original sample, but it's not going to be exactly the same one. It's going to be different. It's synthesis, but it's heavily inspired by the original sample. And that's the kind of thing. So here I started with a voice, and that's the kind of thing you can get. So you really hear something which is like a voice, but that's not the original voice, and we have the control over all the synthesizer parameters. So we have 64 oscillators where we control individually the pitch, the volume, and we can change them and get that kind of sound. Yeah. So this was a voice, but you can play here. It's duduk. Or you can go to. So this is a Chinese gong, which is played in a very different way as from the initial recording. So you really can get a lot of very different sound matter that you can manipulate with the Eagan Matrix. So that's still the Eagan Matrix. And so the Loris, since it's the independent software, it is doing the analysis. What you see here is an overlay. It's exactly what Ed showed on previously. So that helps you to create your own preset using the analysis. So you don't need to dive inside the matrix. You have this interface with filter, envelope, the analysis, manipulation, convolution, effects. So the most simple possible parameters to manipulate the sound. And then once you're done, you can save it in the continuum, and you're done.
Right. And what's the conversion process like?
It's really taking this information, and so for each oscillator information, it will extract the pitch and volume, and everything is going to be converted to MIDI. sent to the Continuum and saved inside. It will work with any Eagan Matrix-based synths, so the Micro, the Mini, of course the Continuum, but also the Osmose, which will be compatible with it. Yeah, so that's the very first thing I wanted to show you. This is available. That's a software. So it's an independent software that is available on the Apple Store or the Windows Store. So just go on it, look for Loris Synth, and you will get it. And then you're good to go. But you do need to have an Eagan Matrix somewhere.
You need to have an Eagan Matrix, yeah.
Yeah, that's really preparing the sound for the Eagan Matrix.
Okay,
That's the base of it.
And how much does it retail for? How much does the software cost?
It's €99. So when you're in US, the price is depending on the store. But basically, it's a small hundred of euro. Yeah.
Very nice. Cool.
The other thing I wanted to show is very different. This is resonators here, which are experimental. So that's really a work in progress. Nothing is ready yet. Basically, if you have a filter. So a filter has an audio input and an audio output, and then you have the resonance and the filter that you tweak here. It's the same thing, but we have an audio input, which is a transducer, and an audio output, which is a piezo mic. And that's the same thing here and there, and same thing on this plate. So basically, the sound is going to go through the device, and we are really using it as a filter inside the synthesis process. So we use here an Eagan Matrix module. So it's a modular synthesizer. We can at any point extract the signal, send it here to that amplifier, which is sending to that transducer, getting the sound, so with the transfer function of the wood here, back is here inside to the module, and that finalize the patch. So I'm just first going to show you how is it as a simple transfer function. So I need to go there. You see, when the way I put my hand on it is changing the sound. That's really. So this is the first thing I wanted to show. So you really see it's a transfer function that you use as any module in a modular synthesizer. I'm just going to change the connections here quickly. So we can go through that guy. So the exactly same principle. I'll have this here. So let's load. Do you have the sound, Ed? So that's one thing you can do, but since it's a synthesizer, you can program it. So we can do another patch and go to something very different. So let's take this. So you see, when I interact with the surface, I can really change the sound.
And what's the difference between the two patches? What was the?
So it's like that's the Eagan Matrix. So we really design a patch that's like two different presets from the matrix. So if it would be physical modular synthesizer, it's just a different patching through the same modules, and you get different sounds out of it. But one of the module is that what we call it immersive filter. So that's because if you touch it, you really feel the vibration. You interact with the vibration, so you're really somewhere inside the synthesis itself, and you interact with your own sound and do crazy stuff. So that's really a work in progress.
Very unique.
It's using some that's a custom piezo mic. There's a custom preamp for the piezo mic. There's a custom amp, which is the same as what we use for the Onde, which is there. And of course the Eagan Matrix module. So that's all pass, and so of course the transducer. So now the hardware is working. We need to package all this and decide what to do with them. Probably there will be some DIY solutions, so maybe selling just the preamp and amplifier together with piezo and transducer, and maybe some pre-equipped independently sold device. So you see here it's on wood on this metallic plate. We have also another plate where when you bend it, it's a filter, and the more you bend, the more high frequency you're going to have. So that's very funny to play with too.
Is that because you're increasing the tension?
Yeah, you're increasing the tension, and so that really creates that. That's very funny. It's really creating a filter that you're bending your finger in your hands. And we can imagine a lot of different kind of surfaces that we need to work also. Obviously here it's a rectangular shape. Other shapes will give different results, and we need to experiment with different shape, as we have done for you see the Pyramide is very specific as for its shape. It's because of its sonic behavior. So that's the same thing here. We need to experiment with other shapes and see what we will get out of it. And so there will be nothing ready before 1 year, most probably, but we thought it would be interesting to share it with people coming here, and anybody willing to be in touch with us and try to be involved in this experimentation, you're welcome.
It's wonderful. It's a really unique way of making sound.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of thing we're making, trying to do other way of making sounds different from others are doing very good. So let's try to do differently.
Yeah,
and that's funny.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for showing us, Christophe.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was very nice to be with you. So.
Yeah, we look forward to the developments. Please keep us updated with the developments of it, for sure.
We will. Yeah, you're welcome.